Everyone, and welcome back to the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. I'm Suzanne Moore, realtor in sunny Bend, Oregon, coming to you from sunny Baja, Mexico. And I'm also the founder of the Central Oregon Investor Network, which brings together investors not only from Central Oregon, but from all over the country and sometimes Baja to learn from one another, share resources, and create more passive income in our lives through real estate investments. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how you can successfully navigate the tax landscape and what the implications are for real estate investing. This is a very juicy topic, and I'm not going to cover it all. Also, going to give you the caveat I am not a CPA. So, what I tell you is what I know myself, and you can double check it with someone who is paid to stay up on all the latest and greatest tax implications of real estate investing. So, let's get started. So, as real estate investors, it's not all about building wealth and generating passive income, which are mostly our goals, but it's also about playing the tax game strategically and legally. And the right moves can help you keep more of your hard earned income while growing your portfolio. And that's the goal, right? Keep the money working and flowing and growing your portfolio. So you've got rental income, you may have capital gains income. Your tax treatment can significantly impact your bottom line. And if you're not leveraging the right strategies for your taxes, you could be leaving thousands of dollars on the table. So, today I'm just going to dive into a few key tax considerations for real estate investors, including some of the most powerful ways to legally reduce your tax burden, like the short term rental loophole and achieving reps status, not just reps, like lifting weights. Reps as in real estate professional status. Oh, real estate professional status. All right, let's dive in. So we've got our rental income and we've got our rental expenses, right? And one of the common income sources for us is rental income, right? But how that income is taxed and what expenses you can deduct makes all the difference. And rental income is subject to ordinary income tax in the United States, but the IRS allows you to deduct a wide range of expenses to lower your tax liability. And so those deductions include mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, maintenance and repairs, property management fees, utilities, a number of other things. And so smart investors like all of us, are going to be tracking every single expense. And we'll talk about how to do that in another episode to ensure that you're maximizing your deductions. You've got to keep track of this stuff for yourself and for your CPA so that you can also keep track of your tax basis for each property. Now, depreciation is my favorite tax strategy because it's the only thing that is a non-cash expense. And what I mean by that is there's not money going out that they then let you deduct. There's no money going out. The IRS just says that when you rent out your property that it depreciates when in reality the opposite is generally true. So it is one of the most underutilized tax benefits in real estate investing because even if your property is appreciating in value, which historically properties do, the IRS allows you to deduct a portion of its cost every year as a depreciation expense. But you're not paying out any money to get that deduction. So this reduces your taxable income in the process and can lead to major tax savings, but you have to be mindful of the depreciation recapture that happens when you sell your property. So the goal is to use other tax deferral strategies like the 1031 exchange to offset or continue to defer your capital gains in the future. So now here's a juicy one that we talked about in our January 2025 meetup. We talked about advanced tax strategies, and this is the STR loophole. STR stands for short-term rental. And this is quite possibly one of the best kept secrets in tax efficient real estate investing because unlike long-term rentals where passive income rules just can be passive, it's non-passive when you meet certain criteria. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because if your STR, short-term rental activity, is considered non-passive, you can use losses like depreciation to offset your W-2 or other active income. So to qualify, you have to materially participate in managing the short-term rental. And a lot of rules around what material participation looks like and how to prove that. But essentially, it means that you're handling bookings, guest communication, maintenance, and a lot of other significant tasks. So the key is really meeting the IRS's material participation test, which is something that a great CPA can guide you through. So the next one is getting reps status, real estate professional status. So I like to think of it as getting reps in the gym. So those who really want to take your tax saving to the next level, achieving reps status can be a game changer because it allows you to turn your passive income losses into active losses, meaning that those losses can be used to offset other active income like your W-2 income. So if you have a corporate job, you've got a W-2 income, if you can prove rep status, you can use these active losses to offset your active income, which is super awesome. But you have to spend more than 750 hours per year in real estate activities and more time in real estate than in any other job or business. So you got to be really careful. You got to do a lot of tracking. And if you meet these requirements, your rental losses like depreciation, repairs, interest, etc., can be used to reduce your overall tax bill significantly. So this strategy works exceptionally well for those transitioning from corporate careers into full-time real estate investing, or for couples where one spouse can qualify while the other earns W-2 income. So the next one is 1031 exchanges, and this is another powerful tool for tax deferral, allowing investors to essentially swap one investment property for another without paying capital gains taxes at the time of sale. But it's a deferral. So at some point, if you sell that property and don't exchange, you will pay capital gains taxes. But if you pass away and that property passes to heirs, then they get it at the stepped-up basis. Back to 1031 exchanges. So to qualify, both properties have to be held for investment purposes or business use. You cannot do this with a personal residence. There are very, very strict timelines that you have to follow, and you have to use a qualified intermediary because they ensure compliance and help you avoid costly mistakes. So essentially, you're rolling all your gains over to the qualified intermediary. They're holding the funds for you. And then when you buy the new property, they are paying for the new property with your funds. So if you ever touch that money, game over. You're paying taxes. But as long as the money flows through the qualified intermediary to the new property, then you get to defer your capital gains taxes. So it's a super awesome strategy. So let's just talk about capital gains taxes. Selling a property for more than you paid for it means capital gains, and the IRS wants its share. So how much you owe depends on how long you have held the property. Short-term capital gains generally means a property that's held for 1 year or less are taxed at ordinary income rate. Long-term capital gains, though held for more than 1 year, benefit from lower tax rates. It ranges depending on your tax bracket, can range from 0% up to 20% depending on your income. So by strategically timing your sales, utilizing 1031 exchanges, leveraging depreciation, and getting your reps status and using the STR loophole, you can significantly minimize your capital gains tax exposure. So to wrap it all up today, lots of juicy topics in here. We could talk about this stuff 4 days. But again, as I said, we are not 100% experts in all of this. Pay the people who are, okay? We are here to bring in some of the juicy topics so you can start asking more questions of those people who are experts. So, real estate investing is about more than just buying properties and collecting rent. It's also about using the tax code to your advantage. So, you have to understand how to optimize your rental income deductions, leverage depreciation, utilize those powerful tax strategies like the STR loophole, rep status, because those things can mean the difference between paying Uncle Sam a fortune or keeping more of that money in your own pocket. So if you're just getting started or if you're scaling your portfolio, it is so important to have a good grasp of all this stuff in and have it in place. So work with a knowledgeable CPA who understands real estate investing. Make sure you're not missing out on any opportunities to maximize your returns because it's not just about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. So thank you for joining us today on another episode here on the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. If you liked this episode, please like and subscribe to our channel because we have lots more juicy topics coming your way. And thanks for joining us. See you next time.